This episode is sponsored by Big Fish Bail Bonds. Big Fish Bail Bonds is your first choice in bondsmen. We are located 3 blocks away from the Sedgwick County Jail in Wichita, Kansas. We accept all major credit cards and we accept payment plans on big bonds with no collateral in some cases. Find us at bigfishbailbonds.us or give us a call at 316-262-4100. Big Fish Bail Bonds. Big or small, we release them all.
Back Home Media.
To another Just Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggi, up here in Kansas, and joining me down there in Arizona is Derek, the bug guy. How you doing, Derek?
What's up, buddy? How you been?
Trying to stay warm. We got this Arctic blast getting ready to hit us, and it's getting cold.
I believe it, man. Thought it was going to be like negative 30.
Yeah, definitely. And the bad news is my heater in my car quit working. So,
really?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great next couple of days.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Wow. That is good. Kelly is here.
Yep.
Ellen Dotson is here. Amber's here from Utah. April Dawn is here.
I am not seeing those comments yet.
Yeah, your computers. We need your computer's having problems, bro. It's affecting the show.
Yeah,
it's affecting the show.
And I've only got this one window open. I don't have any other tabs open like I usually do. It's just running one tab.
Daryl is here. We got Tammy Sue Coke is here. Joy is here. Christopher Unruh is here like usual.
Oh, there we go. No, I hadn't seen him.
Don Eagles. Esther Unruh. Well, we got a ton of cases to cover tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
Cook. Tammy Sue Cook. It's not Coke. Cook.
Oh. Okay.
Cook. I like it.
Hey, Jason.
What's up, Jason? Yeah. Holiday week. Christmas is upon us.
Oh, yeah.
Trisha Ford is new from Oklahoma.
Hey, well, thank you for joining us, Trisha. Yvette Munoz Rogers. Hey, Roxanne, another Oklahoman. Is it cold down your way yet, Roxanne? It's sure getting cold up here.
Wow. Got a lot of folks here tonight. Well, since we got them here, let's get into it, man. Let's go ahead and cover some cases. Right. We got quite a few cases to cover tonight, everybody. We're going to start off with some newer cases. We're also going to throw in some older cases tonight. So we got a pretty action-packed show for you. First, we're going to talk about Haley Reynolds missing from Wichita, Kansas. Ricky's going to tell you all about her.
Yeah, and Roxanne says it's 35 where she's at. It's only 20 up here.
Yeah.
Okay, Haley Reynolds. There she's on my list. Right there she is. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since May 28th, 2022. 17 years old. She's 5'4", weighs between 130 and 140 pounds. Has brown hair and brown eyes. If anybody has any information regarding Haley's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456. or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get her located and back to where she needs to be. It's been quite a number of months now. So we need to get her located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
I forgot to put my phone on vibrate. I just did it.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man. May. Well, hopefully somebody she knows that she's been seeing her, somebody that's seen her around, maybe they're watching tonight, they can call 316-660-9452. Maybe get Haley Reynolds where she needs to be, like Ricky's saying. Wichita, is a dangerous place to be when it is wind chill negative 35 degrees, which is where it's heading in the next few days.
Oh, definitely.
Please go somewhere safe if you're watching this, Haley, and please go home if you could. And as always, if going home means returning to some type of abuse, don't do that. Call the police, contact the page.
Definitely.
We'll try to put you in contact with somebody who can help you.
Yeah, that's always been one of the things that sits in the back of my mind with these juveniles is, are they trying to get away from an abusive situation, and is my flyer going to help put them back in that situation? Because I definitely don't want that to happen. I want them to be safe and find a safe place, but do it the right way if that's the case. If like Derek was saying, let police know, let a teacher know, let your counselor know, another trusted adult know, just somebody to get you some help if that's the case.
So awesome. Trisha's here from Oklahoma. Roxanne says we are at 35 right now. I think it was like 34 this morning when I went to work.
That's like
Rodney
20
says
here.
Well Digger's backside here in Ottawa.
Oh man,
I think I know how
Roxanne
cold
says it'll be negative 18. Tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, it's supposed to be like negative 25 or so here. And I'm just like, oh, not going to be fun with my car heater not working.
It's not good, man.
Nope.
It's not good whatsoever. This is going to be our featured case, not our featured case of the week. This is going to be the card of the week of the 52 weeks that Ricky's been helping with the cards that they're giving out to the inmates. Ricky, tell us about Charles.
Yep, and I made a flyer for each and every single card in that deck. This is Charles Chuck W. Thompson. This is December 21st, 1987, at approximately 8:15 a.m. Charles was found lying on the sidewalk in front of Jalisco's, I probably said that wrong, restaurant located at 5000 State Avenue, Kansas City, Kansas. He was found shot numerous times in the upper torso area. Charles was a local Kansas City, Kansas attorney, and at the time of the murder was the Democratic chairman of the Wyandotte County Central Committee and was very active in politics. Investigation determined that Charles was at the restaurant meeting with what he thought was a prospective client. It was believed that Charles was sitting in his vehicle at the time he was shot. The initial investigation was handled by the Kansas City Metro Squad. The case was later turned over to the KBI for primary investigation. The investigation, which is continuing, has developed strong evidence that the murder of Charles Thompson was calculated, planned murder for hire. It's believed that there are individuals that have information that could lead to the filing of criminal charges in this case. Anyone with information can call Kansas City Crime Line at 816-474-8477, which is our tips hotline, or you can call the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. There is a governor's reward of $5,000 available for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Charles Thompson's death. So if you have anything at all that you know about his death, please call that in, no matter how small of a little detail you think it might be. It might just be what they need to get this investigation going again.
Wow.
And as you can see on the flyer there, I've used the latest Crime Stoppers banner where you can get your phone and scan that little QR code right next to the card there and submit your tip that way as well.
Wow. I mean, this guy's like an attorney doing well for himself, Democratic chairman. It just goes to show you that you're never really truly safe. There's
Right.
people out there, it don't matter if you're a judge, an attorney, or just somebody standing on the side of the road, that it's a dangerous world. Somebody could be coming after you. That's wild.
Yeah, definitely.
1987. Well, if anybody has any information, definitely forward that, because that is wild. Tammy Sue Cook says today is a heat wave compared to tomorrow.
Right.
Kelly says it's cold where she's at. Hello, Esther. Kelly says, poor Charles. That is a big mess. It is. That is very
Yeah,
terrible.
it is. Definitely.
Hate to see it.
Yeah,
definitely. Tell us about Lamaya K. Schaefer. Looks like she's been missing for a little bit, and she's had a birthday.
Yeah, Lamaya Schaefer's missing from Wichita since September 20th of 2022. She was 13 when she went missing. She's now 14. She's 5'4", 170 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen in the 6900 block of West Alstandra Circle in Wichita. She does suffer from mental health issues, and she does have some learning disabilities. Again, when she went missing, she was 13. She's now 14. She's 5'4", weighs 170 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. And I know her mom, I'm friends with her mom on Facebook, and her mom is just distraught with worry, wondering where she's at. It's just been silent, nothing, no tips, no information, no anything. I know she's working on trying to get billboards put up around Wichita and trying to get more coverage for her on the news and things like that. So, we're trying to help out with that the best we can here too. So, if anybody has any information regarding Lamaya's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can help get Lamaya found and back home. Like I said, I know her mom is just distraught, and she's kind of down on the police department about it. She doesn't feel like they're doing enough or, active enough in the investigation. And me and Derek were kind of, well, it wasn't me and Derek, it was me and Tatum. Sorry. My helper Tatum and I were talking a little bit before the show about Lamaya and about missing kids in general. And especially in the Wichita area, there's a lot of missing kids down there, at any given time. And they only have so few detectives to go around to try to find these kids, and with more missing or running every day, it makes it a little harder. But so, I'm sure they're doing the best they can with the manpower they have. So it may not seem like they're doing enough, or doing a lot, but I'm sure they are. I communicate with at least 3 detectives down there, and so I know they're working on it. So, but again, if you have any information on Lamaya at all, those numbers again are 316-660-9452, 316-660-9456, or 316-263-6011. And then they have their general number, which is 316-268-4111. Or again, KBI 785-296-4017. See if we can't get Lamaya found and back to where she needs to be. Just hoping she didn't fall victim to something and is in a situation she can't get out of. Let's hope and pray that's not the case. Just hopefully she's just hiding out at somebody's house somewhere, a friend's house. But we just don't know. Like I said, there's been no tips, no information, no nothing from anybody. So let's see if we can change that.
Yeah, to Lamaya's mom, I think it's normal to not feel like people aren't doing enough when your baby's missing. And I think it's normal to say those things. Like, I don't think she's not going to hurt Wichita PD's feelings, like they understand. This isn't the first time they've had, parents be upset, but you're right. Like they're literally doing everything they can. And, they understand that they're public servants and but, it's totally understandable for Lamaya's mom to be, disappointed that her baby's not home yet,
Yeah, it's been several months and without a word, without anything. It's just,
that's the frustrating part. If there was like maybe a few close calls of tracking her down or some contacts with her, but no contact whatsoever, that I would be freaking out just like her mom is.
Right. Well, hopefully we can help get her found, or at least get some information shaken loose to help get her found. At least, I've been there where my daughter's been missing before. My older one a couple of times. One, she just went off to a friend's house and didn't bother telling anybody that she was going over there, but still freaked us out. And even for that little bit, it was just, I don't even want to go through that again. The second time, she was older and snuck out at 1 a.m. We did find her, got her back home and everything. And thankfully, she hasn't done it again. So, but it's scary. It is. Even for a few hours, it's scary because you just never know.
I lost Doc when he was 4 for 5 minutes, and it freaked me out, man. He just got lost in a group of kids at the park, and I couldn't find him, and I was panicking. Elizabeth
Yeah,
Thompson, Thornton Evans says, it is so sad these people lives are stopped when they had the best years to come. I'm so sorry for the families. Baby Blue Eyes says, missed last week's show. Had to spend a week with my daughter as she was having pregnancy complications. Hopefully that is going better now. That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah. I had Christina Earth up there because I was going to say hi to her real quick. And Christina, I'm glad you joined us tonight. I haven't talked to her in quite some time. She was a former helper of mine on Kansas Missing for a while, and yeah, she's doing her own thing, I guess. But it's good to see you here, Christina. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to see you. I need to talk to you again sometime.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Connie Judd is from saying Merry Christmas from White City. Right. Tanya Cantu says every missing Kansas kid should be posted on every news channel every day. The last 5 minutes should always be dedicated to the missing kids. Just show their pictures and age like a slideshow or something. Great idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Roxanne says it's so scary to be missing. It's so hard to be a teen anymore. We live in such a scary world. I wish some of these that do come in and watch the show that they contact any of us to talk to. Yeah. Right. Happens. A lot of people we cover have commented while we're doing the show. It's happened.
Yeah. I know Annette Lawless has her Missing in Kansas segments that she does. She does one at 6 in the morning and one at 5. There's other states that are starting to fall. I mean, I think, let's see, Wenda Berry, she does one up there in Cleveland, up in Ohio. And I noticed Kansas City just started doing, what was it, KCTV5, I think it is, starting to do an Unsolved KC segment now that they're doing. I just noticed. So that's interesting. Most of what I saw was Unsolved Homicides on there, but I did see one missing person on there, but most of them seem to be Unsolved Homicides that they're featuring on theirs. But still, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was told KWCH was supposed to start doing something like that, but I don't know.
She says, when I say every Kansas kid, I mean every state should have. Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Oh, yeah. Every state should. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. And Blake Pope, this was an interesting one because when I was getting ready for the show, I had to update his flyer as far as his missing since date because originally he had been missing like earlier in the year, and then I looked on KBI to see if I had to change his age. That was what I was looking at mainly. Then I saw he went missing on December again. So apparently he was found unbeknownst to me and then went missing again. So, Blake Pope's missing since December 2nd of this year. He's 17, 6'1", 150 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. He could still be in Wichita, or he could be in Hutchinson or Kingman, Kansas. And again, he's 17, 6'1", 150 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. He may wear glasses, and he usually does wear a hoodie. Hopefully he's wearing more than that in this cold. If you have any information regarding Blake's disappearance, or you know his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-268-4111 or KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get Blake located again and back to where he needs to be.
I remember covering Blake at one point.
Yeah. There's several tonight that I've had to update ages now, or missing since, or missing where they were missing from.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting getting ready for the show tonight.
You see these like 17-year-old kids, and you just kind of hope that maybe it's a growing pain situation. They're about to be an adult. They're about to do whatever they want. Maybe they're just like, I got to get out of here for a little bit. You hope it's something as innocent as that. They just needed some space. And because, right. When Blake turns 18, and maybe he's forgot this, but when he turns 18, he can stay out as late as he wants to. It's like you're an adult. You can kind of do what you want to do.
Yes and no.
Just saying, like, to an extent. But I remember when I was the only time I ever snuck out and stayed out all night, it was maybe 2 weeks before my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
And I got home in the morning, and my mom went to like punish, yell at me, and she kind of was just like, I don't think it matters anymore. She's like, you'll be 18 in 2 weeks. Like, I definitely got in trouble, but right. That 17 years old, that's a weird age where you're still a kid, but you're getting close to being able to do, what you want to do with your life. So it's a confusing time, man, for anybody.
What I meant by yes or no is like if they're if they're a foster kid in the system,
Yeah.
they don't age out at 18 just because they turn 18. If they're not following their plan that they have in place or whatever, they can keep in the foster care system till they're 21.
Yeah.
So yeah. Rob Wilson says, hello, gentlemen. Hello, Rob.
Norm in the house.
And Connie says, I pray all out there find a warm place to sleep. Definitely. Definitely.
It's getting brutal out there in Kansas, man. I was talking to my friend in Wichita. They were telling me that like they kept saying negative 35 wind chill. So I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I'm not ready for that.
Let's talk about Dean Morrison. I feel like we've covered Dean in the past.
We have, but he's still not been located yet. Missing from Lawrence, Kansas since April 2nd of this year. He's 42. He's 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He is a homeless individual that lives in Lawrence. He was last seen by anyone who is part of his family on April 2nd, 2022. He usually rides a bus or is on foot or on a bicycle. And he's 42 years old, 6 foot tall, weighs around 155 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He may have shaved off his beard. He does have a medium-sized scar on the back of his right hand near his thumb. He was last known to be wearing dark blue Adidas pants, windbreaker type pants, and bright yellow shoes. And he may be carrying a black backpack with a small green Free State High School logo on it. If you have any information regarding Dean's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department at 785-832-7509 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Dean located and back to his family.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay where he's at, but let's see if we can't get him located.
Yeah. Lawrence is a town that is a lot of people, I would hate to even say the word homeless about some of them. Like some of them, they're just like free-spirited people, like they don't want to live the normal 9-to-5 lifestyle, it's I know a lot of people that like in my 20s they would just kind of hang out in Lawrence and do that, kind of just live on the street and stuff, just there's so much stuff there. But
yeah,
you just wonder if he's having like mental health issues, or if he just, like I said, just enjoys the free spirit that is Lawrence, hanging out with everybody.
Don't know. Tammy's saying foster care is not all roses. Well, that's true. It's not. On both sides of the fence, I was a foster dad for quite some time, and yeah, it can be challenging.
Yeah, there's issues. We're going to talk about Grace.
Okay.
I believe Myers.
Yep. This is what I did the other day. Grace Aaron Myers, missing from Waynesville, Missouri since December 16, 2022. She's 17 years old. She's 5'4", weighs 140 pounds. She has dirty dishwater blonde hair and green eyes. She had made some concerning statements prior to her disappearance, and her family is very concerned about her well-being. And she's 17. She's 5'4", weighs 140 pounds. She has dirty dishwater blonde hair and green eyes. She was last known to be wearing a white hoodie, blue jeans, and white shoes. If you have any information regarding Grace's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Pulaski County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 573-774-6196, or their tip line 573-774-7948, and see if we can't help get Grace located and back to where she needs to be.
Dirty dishwater blonde. Who came up with that?
Yeah. That's what my mom used to say my hair was when I was younger, was dirty dishwater blonde. I think it's more of a lighter brown kind of now. I don't know.
I've never heard hair described that way.
Yeah.
I made a face when you read it.
I did growing up.
Well, hopefully she's somewhere warm. Seems very concerning.
Yeah.
Some of the things she was saying.
Yeah. And Tanya says, "Love that you do this. It's my first time listening in." Well, glad you're here, Tanya.
We'll be back Thursday next week. We alternate Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, next Thursday will be the next show.
Well, this next case has a bit of a story. I know that Lucia Hernandez has been missing for quite some time. She wasn't always by herself. She started out missing with a few people. Ricky's going to catch you up on everything that's going on with Lucia.
Yeah, she was missing, in danger of runaway, went missing from Garden City on June 29, 2022. She's 16, 5 foot tall, 180 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She'd actually left the juvenile detention center in the 500 block of West Santa Fe Street in Garden City with 2 other females that have since been located. She was last seen getting into a gray or silver 4-door passenger car and left the detention center property. Obviously, they didn't stay together because the other 2 were located. She is 16 years old. She's 5 foot tall, weighs 180 pounds, dark brown, black hair, and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Lucia's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Garden City, Kansas Police Department at 620-276-1300 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Lucia located and back to where she needs to be.
Do you know much about the other 2 that were picked up? Like, do you know if they were all friends? Because, I mean,
I don't know if they were all friends or they all just take off together. Or I'm not real sure. I know.
Because it'd be different if they all took off from like if they all took off from like the library or something, but they all took off from the juvenile detention center. So there's a good chance none of them knew each other before they walked in those doors.
I knew at one point they were saying that they thought the other 2 were in the Wichita area and then thought to be up in Nebraska. And then they thought Lucia might be over in the Lawrence, Kansas City area. So I don't know. I haven't heard any more updates on Lucia since. So hopefully we can get some information going on her and see where she's at.
I'll post it in the Garden City page again too.
Yeah.
Because I had heard the other 2 girls had been found. I guess I kind of assumed that they all had been found at this point, but nope.
Not this one. Glad you could finally make it to a live one, Crystal. She's one of my coworkers at work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she's okay. You know, the other 2 girls were okay at the end of the day. So.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your coworker.
Yeah, that's my coworker.
Crystal, he's my coworker too, kind of in a way. And I'm sick of him. Are you sick of him, Crystal? Oh, okay, here we go. And then I've been to where Crystal works. I stopped by there one day.
Yep. Yep.
It was a very brief meeting that me and Ricky had.
Yeah.
I had to catch a plane in Denver.
Picture up too on here that one night.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that we remembered to take a picture. I think it was my idea to take the picture. I was like, we got to take a picture.
Yeah, it was.
We've been doing this for 2 years. We got to take a picture. I'm going to say this correctly, I hope. I think it's Zariah.
That's what I would have said.
Okay.
This isn't had to update age now, too, because she's been missing since July and apparently had a birthday since then. So I had to update this. But Zariah went missing from Wichita, Kansas since July 26, 2022. She was 16 when she went missing. She's now 17. She's 5'3", 180 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. If anybody has any information regarding Zariah's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-268-4111 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah. A lot of Wichita cases. That's July 26th. Yeah, that's a long time, man. That's I wish we knew her. You know, obviously we only get the information we're given, but you know, I wonder if she's like in a foster situation or
I don't know.
I don't know. It's tough.
I can't remember, to be honest, if she is or not. Ever, if I was contacted that way or through family, I don't remember.
Yeah. It's not like it super matters, but it's just got to
Yeah.
be tough to be a foster kid, man. Here it is when I was at your work.
Oh, there you go. No. Crystal's got the flu. We'll get well soon, Crystal.
That is not good. I had it last week.
Honestly, over the week of Thanksgiving, that's what I thought I had, since my daughter had influenza A the week before. But my luck, I tested positive for COVID second time around. So
I believe, don't quote me, but the other show that I host, the other podcast that I produce in the Free Zone with Norm, Rob Wilson was just here a little bit with us. Norm, he, I believe, has had COVID 3 times since it all started. I know at least 2, but I think 3.
Wow. All right. And Jade DeWitt, missing from Atchison, Kansas since April 25th, 2022. She's 17. She's 5'2" to 5'4", weighs 120 pounds. Her hair was dyed half red, half black. Her eyes are brown. She was last seen at school and hasn't been seen or heard from since then. Again, she's 17. She's 5'2" to 5'4", weighs 120 pounds. Her hair's dyed half red, half black, like you see in the photos there. She was last known to be wearing a light gray Champion hoodie, gray or light blue pants, and black and white checked Vans shoes. If you have any information regarding Jade's disappearance, or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Atchison, Kansas Police Department at 913-367-4323 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Jade located and back to where she needs to be.
Christmas Day will be 8 months exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that we haven't even touched on tonight. All these people that are missing, it's the week of Christmas. Like, this is missing is not a place to spend Christmas, especially if you're somebody who's missing on your own volition, like.
Yeah.
Anybody that's out there, go home for Christmas at least, maybe you don't care about the holiday. To me, I love the holiday. I think it's family, love, it's just about being with the people, appreciating the people that you care about and all that stuff. I think it's a good time of year, and I just think it's a rough day out of the year to be alone by yourself, Christmas Day.
Right.
And if anybody that's watching this show finds themselves alone on Christmas Day, you can message the page. I'll say hi to you. I'll be sitting on my parents' couch, but I'll talk to Nobody should be alone on Christmas Day is what I'm saying. So if any of these people out there, if that's any of an encouragement to go home, if it's your choice, go home for the holidays. Let's talk about Sevion.
Yeah, I'm pretty guessing it's probably it. Sevion Davis. Here's another one I had to update the age on again today. Missing from Wichita since February 26th of this year. Was 16 when he went missing. He's now 17. He's 5'9", weighs between 130 and 135 pounds. Has black hair and brown eyes. Wished I had more information than that, but if you have any information regarding Sevion's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-268-4111 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can help get Sevion located and back to where he needs to be.
Wow. What made you choose some of these flyers tonight?
Actually, Tatum actually pulled them together for me, so I didn't have much chance to do that.
The reason I'm asking is, because a lot of these are older, flyers that you had to update, but that we haven't covered Sevion in a long time. If we have, it's just crazy. He's been missing since February.
Yeah, I know we've covered him before. It's just been a while.
we do a missing persons show in Kansas. It's just like, it just goes to show you, and thank God for Tatum for helping, but it just
Yeah.
goes to show you how many kiddos are missing in this state.
Right.
Like, this kid's been missing since February, and we've had so many cases that we're just now getting back. I mean, I'm glad Tatum pulled. It's just like, there's a lot of flyers, folks, a lot of flyers, and Ricky makes all of them. So it's really, really a lot of stuff. Tell us about Derek Collins. We're kind of cruising through these a little bit. Got a lot of flyers left, a lot of show left as well. Leavenworth, Kansas. Tell us about Derek.
All right. Derek Collins is missing from Leavenworth, Kansas since June 20th of 2022. He's 59. He's 5'7", 193 pounds. Not sure on the hair. I'm going to say it's probably black, but it looks like he shaves it to where it's nearly bald, and he has brown eyes. He was last seen near Home Depot and Hardee's along 4th Street north of East Eisenhower Road in Leavenworth. He has a medical condition that requires regular attention, and he's 59 years old, 5'7", weighs about 193 pounds. He has brown eyes, and it looks like he does tend to shave his head. If you have any information regarding Derek's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call Detective Flynn with the Leavenworth, Kansas Police Department at 913-758-2942, with KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't get Derek located and back to where he needs to be.
You always hate to see where they need medication,
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we haven't seen, like, a week is too long for somebody who's on medication.
Oh my goodness. God.
What?
Somebody spam commenting on YouTube.
Oh, I can block them. Blocked. They're gone. No, but like Ricky, not to get too personal, but you take medication every day, correct?
Yeah, I do.
So let's say you, for some reason, got separated from your pills. How many days before you think you would be in trouble?
I would probably start. Well, the medication I take just slows my heart rate down because I've had my heart go in AFib a couple times over the last 17 years. Once back about 17 years ago, and once about 5 years ago, and it just slows my heart rate down. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. Then I take a baby aspirin to thin my blood a little bit in case it does happen, so I don't get a blood clot. But I've missed a day or two before, and I can feel it when I do miss it. So I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be long.
As soon as it's day 3 or 4, you're in trouble. You're having symptoms. So this is very alarming, considering that some of the medications this guy was taking are probably not something you can get without a prescription. You know what I mean? So it's like he's got to get this medication. It's very scary. So
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's somebody out there that knows something. You got to wonder if he wandered off, because I don't know what he took medication for. Maybe he got confused and ended up in the wrong place. I don't know, but that's very scary.
Yeah, it is. And we don't have any idea what medical conditions that he is being treated for. So hopefully he's safe wherever he's at.
Tammy Sue Cook says, with a heart condition, not long, my son has more friends.
Yep.
Thank you, Sunshine. Micah says, supposed to be negative 55 Thursday here with the wind chill in Ulysses.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, the western part of the state always gets it worse. The west and the north.
It's so crazy because we're going to Ulysses right now. We're going to talk about our good friend Alexander Perez. That was next anyway. That's so crazy.
Okay. Yep, he's missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020, so just a hair over 2 years now. He was 35 when he went missing. He's now 37. He's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. Alexander called a family member on the phone December 1st and said he'd be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and he has not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City area or surrounding area. Again, he was 35 when he went missing. He's now 37, 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. Has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. Has Perez tattooed on one of his arms. Has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Alex located back home to his family because I know they're really looking for him and wanting to get him brought home.
I don't know, man. I'm supposed to be going back early morning to go get some shit and then go get some other stuff down there and bring it back down here, but I don't even know, man. It's been wild down here. It's been crazy. I've been held at gunpoint and robbed and tried to beat me up. It's a bunch of crazy shit going on in GC, man.
It's definitely an ominous call or message.
Kelly said if he was being stabbed and blank, I had
shot at. I think it's supposed to be shot at.
Oh, okay. And shot at. I have no idea why he didn't receive the air. It's so crazy. That might not be done, and nobody knows where. Yeah. Well, I don't know. When I listen to that voicemail, I hear somebody whose world is unraveling.
Yeah.
Whatever that world may be. I just hear somebody who sounds very out of places to go. Very up against the wall. Not a lot of optimism. So that audio we just played you was sent to our source on December 6th. So
wow.
If that audio was sent on the 6th, that means that between December 1st, when he told his family member he would show up and do laundry, and the 6th, there was no contact. The 6th, the voicemail was received, and nothing has happened. Radio silent since the 6th.
Wow. Definitely prayers for AJ's family. I haven't seen his mom Irene on the show in quite some time. I hope she's doing okay.
Right. I don't.
We speak about every week, but I just haven't seen her pop up in the comments for a long time.
Yeah.
I keep watching for her, but I haven't seen her.
I have probably 3 of AJ's family members that I'm friends with now, since we started covering the case. And I watch them do stuff on Facebook. Like one of them was actually out here in Phoenix recently fighting for like a MMA type thing.
Oh, wow.
He was out here fighting, and it's just sad because like I like their posts, they like my posts, like we're friends on Facebook, but like every 3 months I'll just be sitting there at work and I'll have like 10 minutes to that I have to just sit in my truck basically before I can leave, and I'll message one of them and be like, any news? And I'm real hopeful, but it's never any news. They're like, nope, haven't heard a word.
Roxanne just commented last she was on, her health was bad.
She did say that. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to my AJ sources and see if I can at least get us an update on Irene for next week. Remind me to do that in case I forget. But we should get an update, see if she's how she's doing. Let's talk about Jalen Cantrell.
Okay. This is another one I had to update the age on today. Missing from Park City. Oh, and she was originally missing from Wichita. Now it's Park City, by the way. Missing from Park City, Kansas since July 28th, which I think it was February from Wichita before. She was 14 when she went missing. She's now 15. She's 5'2", weighs 120 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Don't have much more than that, unfortunately. But if you have any information regarding Jalen's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Park City, Kansas Police Department at 316-744-2011 or to KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can help get Jalen located and back to where she needs to be.
A lot of July and June cases tonight, man. That's a long time to be missing for a kiddo like that.
Yeah, 14, 15, yeah.
And you had to update this to the new flyer.
Had to update where she was missing from, put on, update the age and the date. So I had to change quite a bit on hers. So I'm glad she chose the cases she chose because it gave me a chance to get some updates done that needed to be done that I wasn't aware of. So
yeah, that's like a whole. Yeah, that's like a whole headache, man. Like you make the flyer, it's like cool, I'm done. It's like no, you're not. They're gonna have a birthday.
Yeah, it didn't stop with making the flyer. That's for sure. I mean, it's constantly updating. Whether it's whether they have a birthday, whether I get new photos, whether I get more information, whether they're located. So it's always, and if I get information from somebody, I go to law enforcement if I get information. So, I mean, it doesn't just stop with making flyers, that's for sure.
Right.
So, which I like I always said, I try to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So if I get information on this or an unsolved homicide, better believe I'm going to forward it on.
I love covering this case. The $5,000 governor's reward. I love that. I love that it gives people in the Independence, Kansas area some thoughts. $5,000 could help somebody get a vehicle, could help somebody down payment on a house, could be down payment on a vehicle, start a business. So if you're sitting around Independence and you're trying to accomplish something and do something positive with your life, and you know what happened to Dietrich, let's have two positive things happen. Let's get the information to the police, and let's do what you need to do with your. I mean, seriously, that's a lot of reasons. $5,000. At this point, if you know something about this, that's a lot of reasons to just go ahead and start talking. 2 years is long enough. We don't need to have Dietrich's family be looking for him for some of that. One of these cases I'm working on is 53 years old. So we don't need to be dealing with that. So Ricky's going to tell you about Dietrich, and we're going to talk about the $5,000 reward as well.
Yep, Dietrich Foster went missing from Independence, Kansas on April 12, 2020. He was 37 when he went missing. He's now 40. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. He was reported missing on May 12th of 2020, and he was last seen around April 12th in Independence. KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department are conducting the case as a homicide based upon findings during the investigation into Foster's disappearance. And at the time of his disappearance, he was 37. He's now 40. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Dietrich's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Independence, Kansas Police Department at 620-332-1700 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And as Derek mentioned, there is a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. So if you have anything about his case, please call it in. Maybe the information that unlocks this case. So let's see what we can do to help get some justice for him and his family.
Yeah. Be a part of the solution.
Yep. Most definitely.
Just a phone call. Just make a phone call. I hate it, man. I hate that we cover these cases every week. It's like I wish they wish they could just be solved. It's in a perfect world. These cases would get solved, but it's just I don't know, man. I feel like I kind of feel like a failure every week, honestly, man. When we cover the same case every, I'm just like, man, we need to get some news, and it's not our job. We're just trying to spread the word, but it's tough, man. Like where we cover these cases, and we don't hear a lot, and we just want to get some closure for some of these families. This is a Deltona, Florida case.
Yeah, I did this one. I ran across it on Twitter, and the person that posted it was appealing for information on the case because there's just nothing out there. And so I did some research of my own, and I, found a small listing for it on the Charlie Project. I found a small listing for it on NamUs. Couldn't find any media stories of any kind at all on Victoria. Victoria Elizabeth Bauer, like Eric said, she's missing from Deltona, Florida since May 30th, 1973. She was 70 when she went missing. She'd now be 67. 5'3", 108 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. The only thing that's known is she left home on foot that day. And again, she was 17 when she went missing. She'd now be 67. 5'3", weighs 108 pounds, has brown hair and blue eyes. Her left eye is a prosthetic glass eye. If you have any information regarding Victoria's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Volusia County, Florida Sheriff's Office at 386-254-1537. Or if you wish to stay anonymous, call Crime Stoppers of Northeast Florida at 888-277-8477 and see if we can't help get Victoria located after all these years, or get some information going as to maybe what happened. Because that's been a long time. But I just felt the need to do a flyer for her and get it out there to see if we can't generate something.
I have a couple friends that live in Deltona, and I'm sending them the picture right now.
Yeah. Same picture. I just found a closer cropped version of it, and one where you can see her hair is a little bit longer, and I wanted to use both versions so you get a more of a close-up of her face and a pull back where you can see how long her hair is.
Yeah, she's really pretty, man.
Mm-hmm. Just not much known other than she left on foot, and her left eye is a prosthetic glass eye.
And you can kind of tell her left eye is prosthetic, but I did not notice it at all until you made me look for it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's really pretty. Like it's really sad, man.
I did read where I think she was compared to a couple cases on NamUs and eliminated. Some I guess some remains that were found were compared to hers and eliminated. So, but other than that,
yeah.
It's just, like I said, I just happened to run across it and felt like I needed to do a flyer to try to help generate some information.
And you found that on Twitter?
Yeah, I ran across it on my newsfeed on Twitter.
I love all these apps, man. I'm finding a lot of true crime stuff I'm on TikTok now.
Mm-hmm.
And I post a lot of our videos on the TikTok, just like some of the flyers that we've read and stuff. And there's a big community on TikTok, man. A lot of people, and I love that you can find out about cases like this on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Like true crime is out there, You know
what I noticed on Twitter the other day? I was nosing around and looking at my news feed, and I happened to see. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with professional wrestling, but I saw a post by Sergeant Slaughter. He used to wrestle back in the 70s and 80s and early part of the 90s, and for the most part he's retired and was working as a road agent for a long time for WWE. But I got to notice, and when I was looking at his post, it said he follows me. I'm like, when did he follow me? But yeah, Sergeant Slaughter follows my Kansas Missing Twitter. I'm like, that is really cool.
Are you serious?
Yes, it follows you. When I pulled him up, I'm like, wow. That's really cool.
So you're gonna sit there and try to tell me that those 17 people watching us right now, he's one of them?
Yeah. Well, on Twitter,
awesome,
he follows me on my Twitter page. I'm like, that's really cool. And it's his legit account. It's got the verification check mark on it that it's his legit account. So I'm like, all right.
That is awesome, dude. Okay. We got a few more here. Let's go ahead and talk about Raven.
Yep, that was one I put on the new template. I didn't have to update anything, but I put her on the new template just because I wanted everything to look consistent. Raven Beatty, missing from Leavenworth, Kansas since May 18th of 2022. She's 17, 5 foot tall, 100 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. It's believed that she may be with a male companion. I don't have any information on who he is or anything like that. but she's 17, 5 foot tall, weighs 100 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Raven's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Leavenworth, Kansas Police Department at 913-682-4411 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Raven located and back to where she needs to be.
Huh. Wow. Okay. She looks eerily like my niece. I'm just in here reading the flyer, and it's just, again, we don't have a ton of information, but she's maybe with a male companion. It'd be nice to know how old the male companion was, considering she's 17.
Like I said, I don't even know if it's same age as her, or is he an adult at some age or what.
Pam has shared the show.
Thank you. I hope everybody's sharing the show out there.
I hope everybody's having a happy holiday.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about Ashton Powell.
Okay. This is February 6th of 2022. She's 17. She's 5'4", weighs between 120 and 130 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. It's believed she may still be in the local Kansas City area, or she may be in the Atchison, Kansas, or Nortonville, Kansas area. And she's 17, 5'4", weighs between 120 and 130 pounds. Has sandy brown hair that was last known to be dyed dark brown and blue eyes. She does wear glasses. If you have any information regarding Ashton's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Ashton located and back to where she needs to be. Well, it's been quite some time, February. So pretty much 11 months.
Wow. The day before my birthday. My birthday is February 7th.
And Ed Stout saying, hopefully this new year, more cases will be solved and people found safe. Merry Christmas to everyone. Well, Merry Christmas, Ed, and hopefully you're right about the new year.
Yeah. Let's talk about our buddy Kenny Wrightcheck. Crystal Jones says, I'll be sharing the link to my Twitter after the podcast. Thank you so much.
Cool. Yep, Kenny Wrightcheck's missing from here in Salina, Kansas since November 4th of 2019. He was 69 when he went missing, and now be 72. He's 5'9", 175 pounds, has gray hair and blue eyes. He does sometimes use the last name Brown as opposed to Wrightcheck. He does suffer from diminished mental health capabilities, and he is on disability. He has not tried to access any of his money since he was last seen. He may have family in northwest Kansas, possibly around the Colby area. He was last seen at the Gospel Mission here in Salina. He left there and hasn't been seen or heard from since that time. He does not have a phone, a vehicle, or identification. His main mode of transportation was a bicycle that he used to ride around town and push around when he was picking up scrap metal to sell for extra pocket money. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 69. He's now 72. He's 5'9", weighs about 175 pounds, has gray hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Kenny's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Kenny located and back home where he needs to be. Now, a lot of people ask me, just about every day when I'm out and about, any more on Kenny, any more on Kenny, any more on Kenny. No.
I wonder if Kenny knew how loved he was by the community. Everybody was like almost counting on him to be there. It was comforting to see him around town, probably. Like, oh, there's Kenny. Like, everything's going to be okay. Kenny's here. Everything's, all the cast is here,
Yeah, and he's a regular fixture around Salina,
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, sometimes just seeing people that you see all the time is good for your mental health, You're like, oh, there's Kenny, It's really, the thing is like, you have this like small connection where you watched him play pinball and you talk to them a little bit, but there's probably literally hundreds of people that have some little tiny connection with them, just like you. There's a lot of people that are upset that
Right.
Kenny's not around right now.
Yeah. Donda said that's when her daughter's due is February 7th.
Well, you better be careful, because that's your daughter's going to be an Aquarius like me, and we daydream a lot. Just so you know, your daughter's going to be a daydreamer. He looks like a sweet guy. He does.
He was a
looks
real
like
nice
you
guy.
wouldn't-
He never said a crossword to anybody. I used to, like, so when I was a teenager, I'd visit with him at the gas stations and stuff when he was playing pinball and stuff. And he was the nicest guy. He never, like I said, people called him some derogatory stuff, but he never got cross or anything with them right back. He was always the nicest guy. And I just hope he's okay and living a good life out there. Except with the bitter winters we've had and the hot summers we've had, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep that hope, but I keep trying. I keep hoping he's out there somewhere.
Well, we have 2 more cases to cover. We're going to talk about Dana Jane Bruce real quick, and then we have 1 more case to cover after Dana.
Okay.
But you still have Dana on the Kansas template.
Yeah, I haven't changed her over yet. I need to do that.
Oh, yeah, that was before you started. Yeah, you made this one before you started.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that's
right. Okay. Dana Jane Bruce, missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She'd now be 37. She's 5'2", 98 pounds. She has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with the young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She would now be 37. She's 5'2" and weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots, black at the ends with red highlights, and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She's blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar on her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100. With the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number 866-362-6422, and see if we can't get Dana located and back to her family. I know they're searching high and low every day looking for her, and they want her found and brought home. Most definitely. I know somebody out there knows something. It's just a matter of doing the right thing and picking up the phone and calling and saying, hey, here's what I know.
Yeah, I say it every week. I'm not going to say it again, man. I'm writing. Do not leave tonight, Ricky. I'm going to have you send me some stuff before next week's show.
Okay.
Because this is just, I'm tired of covering it, man. I'm tired of, I want to get some more information. So I'm going to reach out to some family members that you've talked to in the past, see if we can get a little bit more info. Just to kind of get some updates, because we share Dana's fly every week. I want to see if there's any information that we're leaving out that her family would like to share, So, last case of the night, let's go ahead and talk about Lainey Hill. Been missing since April. Had a birthday since then.
Yeah. Another one. missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 6th of 2022. She was 16 when she went missing. She'll now be 17. She's 5'9", weighs 180 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Wished I had more information on her disappearance, but I don't. If you have any information regarding Lenny's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Lenny located and back to where she needs to be. It's been long enough. Most of these have been long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly, we need to cover Megan Fogel's song and Star Boomer again too soon. And Ellen, you're very welcome for covering Dana again. And she said you can message her anytime.
Okay, I will message you. Okay. All right, so apologize if it seems like I'm a little out of it. I've been texting a few people on the show's behalf while Ricky's been reading some of these flyers, but I'm here with us. Bring Megan Feckle's song and Stargale Boomer home. That's another one, Stargale Boomer. I want to see if there's anybody that knew her that's still around that has information. Did you read this one already?
Not yet.
Okay, Don Eagle says, I would like to personally thank you guys for everything you guys do. My nephew went missing this past early summer from Leavenworth, Kansas, and your help and the flyer you made really helped. Michael was located safe about 3 months after the nightmare started. You all are truly a blessing. Well, Ricky made the flyer. Ricky made that flyer. I just put it on the podcast screen, but you're welcome for my contribution. But yeah, Ricky does a lot of work, guys.
Yeah. You're very welcome, Don.
Hope the families find their loved ones safe and healthy or get at least some answers. Yeah, at least some answers.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes that's all you can get, you can hope for.
Yeah. I want to show you guys something. I've never showed this on screen before. But this was a book that was written back in 2013. It was published in 2013, came out in 2014. Doggone light. It's called Hunting Christ by Ken Pollicard. And this was when Kansas Missing and Unsolved was probably a year and a half old, I guess. And at the time I was still helping Kim with missing children's albums. She was the one who actually trained me how to make flyers and got me started making flyers back then. And Ken got a hold of her. I don't know how they managed to cross paths, but he got a hold of her and he, I guess, followed the page or whatever, missing children's albums or whatever, but he wanted to acknowledge what we were doing at that time. And the acknowledgments of the book in the back of the book down here on, if I get to the right page here, nope, it's this other page, this page right here, this little paragraph right here in the acknowledgments. It says, to Kimberly Coleman and Richard Breggy, thank you for sharing your missing children album with us. Your timeless dedication to finding the lost is truly amazing. And that is in this book. And it's part of a trilogy, actually. This is the first book, Hunting Christ, and there's Hunting Lucifer and Hunting God. In the second book, in the acknowledgement, my name is in there again, but there's no sediment like that. It's just my name. But I was acknowledged in the second book. Third book, I didn't know because I haven't been able to find it yet. But yeah, I mean, that, like I said, that was early on when Kansas Missing was about a year and a half old. And it's also, he signed it and sent it to me. So got that
That's
too.
awesome,
so,
man.
yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And like I said, it just blew me away when I found out about that. Kim told me about it, and she was actually the one. I guess he sent her the books, and she sent me this one. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm still an admin on missing children's albums. I don't do much with it because I just don't have the time. But looked like the last time I looked on it, the last post on it was from 2016. So it's been quite a while since it's been messed with. But have to see maybe about getting a hold of Kim, see if she's trying to keep up on it or if she's going to try to, get started back up on it or what. But I'm forever grateful to her for showing me how to make these flyers. And of course, I went from what she taught me to my own little twist here and there, but I'm kind of somewhat perfected it my way, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's come a long way since then. But and I keep this over in this bookshelf next to my desk as a reminder. So my first acknowledgement as a missing persons advocate is what that was.
That's awesome, man.
I'm very proud of it.
Starting point, man. That's where you were like,
Merry
whoa.
Christmas, Esther Unruh. And you too, Chris Unruh. I haven't seen him on the comment. Oh, there he is. Yep. Have a Merry Christmas, Ricky and Derek. There he is. I missed it. But there he is. No one says have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Ellen. Not sure what I'm doing yet. Besides staying warm. As I'm not ready for this blistering cold. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll just probably go to my parents' house and sit there like a bump on a log.
Well, my cousin messaged me yesterday and said they're having a small dinner at their place Saturday night, but everybody's getting sick. So I'm like, do I really want to go over there?
Dude, like, so many sick people right now. This last month, my whole timeline on Facebook is just people that have either the flu or a cold or COVID. It's just going around. Like I'm still sniffling.
Yeah, you and Scarlett have a Merry Christmas, Kelly. Well, should we wrap her up?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. When are we back next week? What is next week? It'll be the 29th, so it'll be close to New Year's.
Sure. And
it'll be the 29th.
New Year 2023. Great Scott. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can do something special for the 29th show.
Yeah, maybe we can. I'm not sure what, but
it'll be the New Year's. It's the last show. I didn't mean to interrupt your prayer, but yeah, it's like the New Year's show. We should do something, But yeah, go ahead and pray. I didn't realize it was the last show of the year.
Yeah. Well, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together to cover these cases tonight, and hopefully we can help get some missing people found, and get some information generated in Charles's case and Dietrich's case and all the other cases, and. Like I always say, I just pray that these flyers get to the right ears and the right hearts. It'll do the right thing. And, just make the call. That's all they got to do is make the call. And it's what we pray for. Until we see each other again next week, everybody have a Merry Christmas, safe holiday. Amen.